Hello. For years and years, I've wanted to go to America and have a really long trip. I was thinking fly drive, and okay, I've been a few times to the States, but only ever to the West Coast. I've never actually been to the East or the South or the North, and so I've always planned somewhere at the back of my mind to do a big trip across the whole of America. Well, I've been fortunate enough in the last couple of years to move to a company that would allow me the time off, and my missus, Sophie, she has also been able to get 3 months off work, and the two of us are going to be landing in America on September the 1st, and we've decided to make it basically the trip of a lifetime. Something that lots of people dream about. We've certainly dreamt about it for years, and now we've made it a reality. And I can't tell you how excited I am. So I'm inviting you to come on the trip with us. We will actually be in continental United States for 70 days, and it's my intent to make 70 videos during those 70 days. Not necessarily one a day. I don't want it to become laborious, and it almost certainly won't be the stop animation that I normally make. But 70 and 70 is the plan, and I invite you to watch, to come on the trip. And if you live or are on holiday in any of the places that we are visiting, stop in, say hello, email me on the down that side. There's a link to my email address. So I'll tell you very briefly where I'm going to be and when. I'm starting off in Buffalo, which is right on the Canadian border, and it's sort of, turn you around, it's way up there, New York State. I'll be there September the 1st in Buffalo, and I'll be there for a week, which is a really good idea just to get over jet lag and to make sure that we're settled in and acclimatised. We'll spend the first 4 or 5 days in Buffalo, and then work our way over to Finger Lakes, probably hiring a car, going to Himrod, Lake Pleasant I think it is, Albany, and then eventually arriving in New York City, New York, on the 8th of September. We'll actually be staying in some rented flats that we're getting on Long Island City. Obviously we chose rented flats because it's more of a realistic New York experience than staying in a hotel. If you're around Long Island City, or you've got anywhere in New York during the week from the 8th to the 14th, we'll be more than happy to see you. Needless to say, on the 11th we will be making that pilgrimage to Ground Zero. I think it's important to go there and to recognise what happened when it happened and the terrible events of that day. But visiting America is going to be an experience for a number of different reasons. It's not just holiday world USA. There's also an awful lot to see and do. A lot of people don't realise that the United States is almost exactly the same size as Australia, which is my new homeland. But it has got 10 times the population. And as I'm sure all my friends are sick of me telling them, 100 years ago, almost exactly to the year, the United States had the same population that Australia currently do now, which is about 20 million. And it's my theory that if Australia had water in the centre, which it doesn't, but if it did, in 100 years' time, who knows, maybe Australia would be the world's next superpower. Anyway, back to the trip. Around the 14th of September, we will be leaving New York and travelling down to Philadelphia, a quick pass-through, then on down to Washington. Got to go to the capital. There's some famous sites there. From there, we're going to drive down over a couple of days, taking our time, obviously, because we've got lots of time, and going to Wilmington. We should be in Wilmington, North Carolina, by about the 19th, 20th of September. And then we're going to spend a few days in Wilmington. We know that it's the modern Hollywood of America. A lot of TV series, and some movies have been made there. It's supposed to be a nice town. Should be on the coast. Should be very nice to stay there for a few days. From there, we're going to work our way across. Not sure if we're going to drive or fly, but we'll work our way up towards Nashville, Tennessee. We'll also be going to Memphis. As we're working our way west, of course, the sun is following us, so our hope is it's going to be in the 70s, Fahrenheit, old money, early 20s in Celsius, and so the sun should be following us. It should be a very pleasant trip to go through. From Memphis, we'll be driving down into Louisiana. We will be going to Kentwood. Those of you who know Kentwood will know why I'm going there in particular, and those of you who don't, well, never mind. After Kentwood, we will be moving on probably to New Orleans. If we don't go to New Orleans, then we will certainly go to Baton Rouge. Obviously, I've heard, since the really freaky weather in New Orleans and the terrible events that have happened there in this decade, it isn't necessarily the safest place for tourists to go to. But, I'm going for an experience, and good or bad, I reckon it's experiences that I'm after.